Hi, Dave Adams here. So, this week, I'm not putting up the core mechanic. I will aim for next week simply because it's the last week of term. And before I even started doing all of these videos, I hadn't managed to get through a last week of term before doing recording. So, it's full on. And in part, it means I just have to try and work out what that will look like next year so it's not as, I suppose, chaotic and convoluted. It was just too much this week. I mean, the amount of stuff I've had to get done, the craziness, the marking, the reports, the chasing up students, the end of year services, the end of year celebrations, the seeing off the year 12s, the valedictories, the oh my goodness. So it's just been a bit much. So I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't get it done. Plus, I'm exhausted. My body is giving out. It happens every time at the end of the year around this time. My body just starts to crap out, and that's just I mean, you just push and you drive so hard to get to the end of the year that it's normal. I think I just expect it almost. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with this week. Just not feeling 100% or great. However, last night I did put together my first Twilight Struggle video. I haven't actually. I don't think I've got a formal title for that yet. But some people don't like me using the word grokking. Apparently, I've used it too much because I did a whole 3 episodes or 4 episodes on it on the Dice Tower. Had people leaving comments like, get off my lawn, stop with the grokking. It was only a few, but it was just weird to me. Like, it's just a new word. Why wouldn't you want to learn new words? Like, new words empower us. Words give us the ability to communicate our ideas and thoughts and feelings in ways we hadn't previously been able to. More words means greater, not just a greater command of the English language, but the great ability to express ourselves more effectively and more meaningfully. So I love learning new words. So, stuff there. Maybe I'll title it Grokking Twilight Struggle. It's just something I'm trying to do because there is a need I find. Like I'm trying to not, I'm trying to work my way towards developing a board game. Um, but for me, I want to understand uh, that process of really knowing a game. I mean, I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh, and I can see now, like through my research that I've been doing, and not just research into game design, but research into practice and grit and building skill sets, that there's more I could have been doing to improve my game as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I've chosen Twilight Struggle A because it's my favorite game, and I admit quite openly that I've never won a game of Twilight Struggle before, but it's my favorite game. And I say that because um, everything in it is right. Like everything just feels good. I enjoy it. The tension, the pressure, the build up. It's area control, which is my favorite mechanic. Um, and so it has all the right elements. It's just a really tough game. And it's a mentally challenging game. And there's enough randomness that doesn't feel like I'm not solving a puzzle every game, but I'm looking for opportunities. I'm taking risks. I'm making plays. I feel if I lose, it's entirely on me. I really genuinely feel it's a game where the better player wins despite the randomness of factors. But at the same time, I haven't actually gotten to a point where I'm good enough to say that the randomness uh, plays that big a role. For me, the randomness is just it's a side note almost to my own ability because my own ability is so low. At this stage, the first one going up will just be me playing the app on the computer, and I'm intending on making that my primary way of playing the game, simply because of ease of setup and pack down, all that sort of thing. But also, I'll be able to play online eventually. At this stage, I'm just playing against the AI. I think I've played a bunch of games already, and I've now won twice, and um, I think it's interesting because for me, it's the first time I've won a game, obviously, but just playing the game has raised my level this much. But um, like today, I was learning about what is it? Oh, I'm trying to think of the word. It's not neuroplasticity. That's different. That's what helps me learn. But it's homeostasis, which is when the body adjusts and the body doesn't like change or doesn't like variation. So it works to create stability and order. And what they've found is that through, for instance, the easy one for us to recognize is exercising. The body will, like you do exercise, or whatever, and your body will change a little bit, but then it'll always revert back. So even if you lose a bit of weight, you'll always put it back on, or if you put on a bit of weight, you'll lose it down again, because the body wants to keep things stable. Like it's a homeostasis. But you can create a new homeostasis. So you, for instance, if you go out and you go running 3 times a week, you go jogging 3 times a week, it'll create a new norm. So it'll everything will adjust. You'll have less oxygen through your body, traveling through your body, because your windpipes and the restriction from the exercise into your veins, and the oxygen getting into your blood, and so your body will produce new capillaries and new vein paths to try and oxidate your body better. Your muscles will become more, I think, bigger and all that sort of thing. And the idea is that then you'll become that'll hit your norm, and you'll stay the same. You won't actually grow or improve after that point, after a certain point. And the idea is to always be working a little bit beyond your capacity. And so part of this process is going to require me actually setting goals, which I haven't quite done at this stage, because I'm not 100% sure what makes a definable goal. So I'm trying to work that out, and I'll share that as soon as I've really nutted that one through. At this stage, I'm just getting started, and then I'll try and set some clear, defined goals, because part of that setting goals means breaking it down into steps, so that I'm always working just a little bit beyond my capacity, and I've always got somewhere to go as soon as I reach that goal. So as soon as I reach that milestone, then I know where I'm going next. And like, that's not just motivation. That's about doing meaningful practice, which is what I consider this. I'm not just playing a game in my mind. I'm doing meaningful practice. So yes, I enjoy the game, but I'm anticipating in this process that at some point I'm going to be bored, or at some point I'm not going to want to play the game. It's at those moments where I'm looking to try and just tweak my game, that it's going to require that grit and determination, that passion and perseverance. Because at some point, my game's going to plateau. Like right now, because I'm so novice, every game is learning. Every game is jumping up. And pretty soon I'm going to start reading. There's books and websites dedicated to Twilight Struggle. Again, a good reason to do the game. And my learning will just be exponential. It's when I get to those moments of, well, I'm just tweaking one element of the game, when I'm just learning how to handle one situation, and it's so refined, it feels like, like it's getting through those barriers, those mental barriers of, I don't want to do this today, or, so trying to create a new norm. It's that in terms of homeostasis, it's always working that little bit beyond myself, which we can do cognitively as well as physically, which is where I was going with the physical part. You can do that cognitively and just work continually beyond the norm, and push yourself to keep growing, keep learning. And that's called meaningful practice. Some teachers might know it as the zone of proximal development, and it's similar to that. It's not quite that. The zone of proximal development by Vygotsky has to do with what pushes us to learn, but meaningful practice is connected with it. It's just a little bit different. I'm not going to go into that now. However, I really think this is going to be important learning for me, both as a designer and as a player, and just for my own personal growth and development. I just want to see where this can go. There's not necessarily any guaranteed outcome of this, just that it's learning for the sake of learning. And sometimes you don't know where that leads. And even if it has no direct even though it has no direct application right this minute or in this way, the type of learning, the process of learning is never lost, and is something you can apply wherever and whatever field. So I never feel like I'm not doing anything meaningful if I'm engaged in a meaningful process of learning, which is what I hope this will be. But look, anyway, that's just a quick update. I'm going to work really hard. The last two core mechanics are really big in terms of content and editing. It's going to take a lot of work and effort, and so I'm going to work really hard to try and get that done by next week. It's going to require a lot of nights just trying to get that done. Hopefully I'll make the deadline. Otherwise I'll probably just upload it as soon as it's done, and I'll try and keep you posted on that. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here. Please like and subscribe to us. We're really hoping to get more people involved in the community and thinking about games differently. Look, until next time, I'm Dave Adams, just thinking out loud.